Good day and welcome. A major development is unfolding that has sent shockwaves through Nigeria and far beyond its borders, drawing in global powers and reigniting intense debate over justice, sovereignty, and political stability. The conviction of IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has triggered a wave of reactions at home and abroad, but none as dramatic as what reportedly happened in the early hours of the morning when United States President Donald Trump issued an urgent directive to the Nigerian government, calling for the immediate reversal of the appeal court judgment
I
against
am
Kanu.
hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. That's a legal definition. Like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide. What horrible numbers. Something has to be done. I am asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into this matter and to report back to me. And I mean, like, immediately. The United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. It's not only Nigeria, it's all over.
According to accounts circulating within diplomatic and political circles, President Trump delivered a message that quickly echoed across international media and policy spaces. In that message, he made it clear that Nigeria was now being placed under a special category of concern, a classification that carries serious legal and diplomatic weight in Washington. He cited disturbing figures related to violence and instability, arguing that the situation in Nigeria could no longer be treated as routine or ignored as an internal matter. He reportedly instructed senior members of the U.S. Congress, including Congressman Riley Moore and key figures within the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately examine the case and report back without delay. The tone was not advisory. It was urgent, direct, and unmistakably forceful. Unlike earlier signals that hinted at timelines or diplomatic windows, this intervention was framed as an executive-level instruction demanding immediate attention. Trump, according to sources close to the process, has been following Kanu's case closely for some time. He has reportedly engaged legal experts, consulted diplomats, and listened to voices from human rights organizations and members of the Nigerian diaspora in the United States. In his assessment, the recent appellate judgment raised serious red flags about fairness, judicial neutrality, and the broader implications for Nigeria's long-term stability. From his perspective, Nigeria's leadership now stands at a defining moment, faced with a choice between de-escalation and deeper division. Trump's argument was not limited to legal technicalities. He framed the issue as both constitutional and moral, warning that the ruling could inflame existing political tensions, particularly in the Southeast, where many people view Kanu not merely as a political actor, but as a powerful symbol of identity and resistance. He described the conviction as something that extends beyond the courtroom, touching the fragile balance of national unity. Continuing down the same path, he suggested, could harden grievances, undermine cohesion, and fuel more extreme sentiments among already frustrated populations. In pushing for a reversal of the judgment, Trump reportedly emphasized that such a move should not be misunderstood as an endorsement of violence. Instead, he presented it as a strategic and statesmanlike decision aimed at calming a volatile environment and opening space for dialogue. He argued that bold leadership sometimes requires stepping back from punitive measures in order to stabilize a nation and lay the groundwork for reconciliation, economic recovery, and peace in regions experiencing prolonged unrest. Part of Trump's concern reportedly centered on aspects of the conviction that linked Kanu to violence during periods of civil unrest, including the NSAS protests. The court had held that certain broadcasts and messages attributed to Kanu played a role in encouraging disobedience, unrest, and actions that could be interpreted as threatening public safety. Trump acknowledged the seriousness of those findings, but maintained that the broader political context could not be ignored. In his view, addressing the underlying grievances and legal controversies surrounding the case was essential to preventing further escalation. Accounts from inside the courtroom on the day of sentencing add another layer to the unfolding drama. Observers say Kanu appeared deeply emotional as the judgment was delivered. He reportedly challenged key elements of the prosecution's narrative, insisting that his words and intentions had been misrepresented. For him, the ruling was not simply a declaration of guilt, but a personal and political blow. Witnesses recall him questioning whether the laws applied to his case were being interpreted fairly or stretched to serve a political purpose. That exchange transformed the moment from a routine legal proceeding into a public confrontation over dissent, identity, and the meaning of justice. With Trump's intervention, the stakes have risen sharply. His involvement signals that the international community is paying close attention, and that Nigeria's handling of the situation could carry consequences beyond its borders. Among Kanu's supporters, the reported Midnight Directive has been received as a rare sign of global solidarity and renewed hope. Among critics, it has sparked concern about external interference and the erosion of national sovereignty. Politically, it places enormous pressure on the Nigerian government to respond decisively, balancing domestic authority with international expectations. If the call for reversal is heeded, it could mark a major turning point, potentially easing tensions, reopening channels of dialogue, and reshaping the narrative surrounding Kanu and the broader conflict. If it is ignored, the risks are substantial, ranging from intensified unrest and diplomatic fallout to deeper alienation of communities that already feel marginalized. What is certain is that the day the judgment was delivered did not simply conclude a case. It ignited a national and international storm. Now, with the weight of global attention and a forceful message from Washington, Nigeria stands at a critical crossroads. The decision ahead will signal not only how the government views one man and one case, but how it defines leadership, justice, and responsibility in moments of intense scrutiny. The world is watching, and history is taking notes.